Two songs in one, this is too good. I have to talk about it because it's the Christmas season, obviously, which means it's list season here traditionally in the Coverkillernation channel. It's not like we have a lot of Christmas music to talk about, although we may have to speak about some in the near future, just kind of as a generality. But there's two songs that were just released that we do need to speak about by two artists that are pretty prominent right now whenever it comes to heavy metal. And by prominent, I don't necessarily mean super duper popular, everybody wants them. We're not talking about like an Asking Alexandria, Avenged Sevenfold Christmas song. Who the fuck wants that? No, instead we're talking about Darkest Carol's Faithful Sing, which is a new Christmas single done by Christopher Lee. Yeah, the aging actor who has turned into metal phenomena, considering he's in his 90s. He's released metal albums that have been not only successful, but good. And this is actually the third Christmas single that he's ever done. This is one where he rewords, essentially, Hark the Herald Angels Sing, in order to give it more of a metal and actually very evil presence to it. And that's certainly something that gives this a whole hell of a lot of character. This is a song that you can easily search, and this is one that's certainly picked up a lot of pace. It's actually got about 750,000 hits, and it's certainly one that's been kind of circulating around the metal universe over the past couple of days. I know a lot of you have recommended that I do this a little bit sooner, but I've been working a lot. And I mean a lot, like 50 hours a week a lot. Like shit, this is fucking nuts. Speaking of fucking nuts, the second one that we need to speak about, or at least talk about a little bit, is Steel Panther with the Stalking Song. Now, this isn't their first single either with, tracks such as Sexy Santa, but it's the newest one, and once again, it's a song that's definitely garnered some attention. Principally, I think, because of the fact that there is a ridiculous Steel Panther, Christmas-style photo that is accompanying this whenever it's being shared. That is just absolutely ridiculous. It's crazy. It's one of those things that you see, if you see those memes that show the really awkward family photos, it resembles that style a lot. And if you know Steel Panther, they're certainly not a band that is shy about being just completely crazy. This is something where they actually shine in this sector of the universe with creative genius. They're just they're just a band that just doesn't care. They'll do whatever the hell that they want. Now, of course, this is a song that is ripe with suggestion, so to speak. The lyricism is one that sort of has a little bit of Deck the Halls to it. You can hear Deck the Halls played in the form of a kazoo, which is, it's creative, I'll tell you that. And of course, the song itself, it has a lot of suggestive meaning about stocking stuffings, and that, of course, being a huge metaphor for sex. Is it anything that is not expected whenever it comes to Steel Panther? Not at all. So what's my reaction to this? There's not much to react to, really. These are Christmas songs by individuals within the metal universe that have every right to do this. You kind of would hope would do it in this case of Steel Panther, considering they are more of a comedy group, one that has a lot of tongue-in-cheek humor, so it just seems that it could be right up their alley. It's something that they could excel at, and they have. And then with Christopher Lee, it's just such a great story. It's one where this gentleman has really traversed the world, has so many great roles and so many great films, still continues to film and do many projects, and he's still very, very active, and now is an active heavy metal musician that has, released terrific albums, and is able to do a Christmas song, now his third year in a row doing a Christmas song that is receiving a lot of attention, and it's definitely well worth it. These are two tracks that obviously have only seasonal bearing. This is not like these are tracks that you're going to actively seek out, perhaps on May the 17th, either that or perhaps on September the 21st. These are, however, for the season where we're perhaps assaulted by crap such as the fucking Pentatonics of all goddamn people, having their album, ship over 500,000 freaking units and actually be, become a sleeper hit because people are morons. You actually want to see and hear something like this happen, something that can really apply to individuals of a more darker taste. Either that or a more tongue-in-cheek taste, all depending really on your preference. This is certainly something that we've seen before with, Twisted Sister doing a heavy metal Christmas, and even with August Burns Red doing an instrumental Christmas carol a couple of years ago, which is actually fantastic. It's very, very good. Look it up if you have the opportunity. I believe it's Jingle Bells. Black Label Society has done songs in the past, and Zach has really dialed it back a little bit. I think it was a Little Town of Bethlehem that he did. And there are others that will also try their hand on this as well. But these are two tracks that, even though they have a traditional Christmas carol that's attached to them in body and makeup, these are ones that definitely have a very individual feel to them. And they're two that's definitely making some circulation this year. Two that I certainly recommend that you guys in the Coverkiller Nation check out. Although I have a feeling a lot of you already have, considering many of you assaulted me with the recommendation. And I'm glad that you guys did. So thanks a lot, guys, for the recommendations. And we may talk about Christmas music a little bit more later on this year. Considering the year's close to being over and the season's close to being over. It'll have to be sooner rather than later. But it is list season, so it'll be intermixed with the list. Later.